pretty well. I hope you can see yourself as well. So, always good to check, and if you don't have a mirror, just check yourself in the screen. Well, 2021, this is our first workout this year, and to many, many, many more. All right, so feet are gonna be on the chair or on your couch. We're gonna go ahead and release our arms all the way above our head, and that will help us swing our upper body up. If you find that you can possibly do that without the use of the arms, that's fantastic, okay? Slight bend in the knee, inhale, and with an exhale, lift up. 2, 3, as you catch that momentum, see if you really need to use your arms. 4, exhaling all the way up. 5, try not to round your back too much. 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Back on the mat, hands behind your head. And you're gonna just gently lift your feet above the couch or your chair. I'm gonna just refer to it as chair. How about that? And go for easy crunches. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay up and tap, tap. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, lift it up, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay up, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. 10, 9, 8, 7. Burning, burning. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay up, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yes. All right, definitely hit both the very top and all the way down. Place your hands under your tailbone here for me, please. And please keep your shoulders as relaxed as possible, all right? And we're gonna release our legs and tap on both sides of the chair, and then lift and tap the chair. Ready? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lower back into the mat. 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it back and just tap, tap. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Definitely warm. All right, the next one is going to be with the obliques. And in fact, those are going to be just the last 2 sets, several variations here. Variation number 1 is the easiest one, and that is going to be on the knees, lifting all the way up and bringing your top leg above the chair, elbow in and out. Variation number 2. Same situation, but the bottom leg is going to be extended. Same thing here, in and out. And variation number 3 is going to be with both of your feet on the chair. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just drop your hips down and up, down and up, down and up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. All right. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. On this side, I'm going to be with my legs extended, but not in the chair, just for fun. Just something slightly different. And in and out. 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and drop, drop. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very nice. Last exercise here. You're going to have your head rotated toward the chair. If you do not want to do it like so, you can always keep your arms by your side. And this is what we're doing, lifting and then kicking it out. Or you can have your hands on the legs of the chair, doing the exact same thing. 1, 1, 2, 2. In essence, we're still using all the core muscles. 3, 4, shoulders relaxed. 5, 6, 7. This one is also a really good spinal opener. 8, 9, 10. 10 more. Last exercise here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ta-da! I think it somehow slid just a tiny bit, but it's all good. All right, so we're going to start on the mat, and we're going to be in the kneeling position. I'm going to try and rotate it such that everybody can see. I don't know if anybody's actually going to be watching it other than you, Becky. So we're going to actually start with our shoulders. So sit nice and happy in the kneeling position, and grab the strap and start to just gently shimmying in your shoulders behind you, opening gently up. Easy does it. Easy, easy, easy. We're going to go pretty deep into the shoulders here today. And for now, you're just kind of getting a feel for where you are. Maybe draw little circles where your arms go behind your ears. And because all we did right now is warming up our core, but we really didn't do anything on any other part of our body. So I always highly recommend that before any stretching, there's some warm up, whether you're going to go for a quick walk around the block, whatever it may be, but it's really important that the body is warm. Good, perfect. So a little tiny bit of that, and we'll come back to this, so keep the strap nearby. Your first stretch is going to be with your forearms on the chair, and you're going to clasp your hands or place them such that they're not going to slide. You see my hips are slightly behind my knees, and what I'm doing is I'm keeping my arms at the same width as my shoulders. Gently, slowly, I allow my chest to start to drop. And it's very, very natural here. There's absolutely nothing other than gravity. And as the underarms start to open up, if you feel comfortable and confident enough, go ahead and start to drop your head. And just gently open. It's a very deep stretch for the shoulders, so please make sure that you get into it very, very slowly. If anything becomes uncomfortable, there's so many muscles engaged here. Please just go ahead and lift up, roll with the shoulder, maybe gently sway your chest side to side, and then try again. We will come back to this after every single opener today, and we will compare the very beginning of our session to the very end. So please observe your body, see how you feel. Nice. Very gently lift up, scooch a little tiny bit more forward, and this time place your elbows on the very edge of that chair. Place your palms together. See if you can actually bring them such that your elbows are really bent. In fact, you can try and bring them to the back of your neck or wherever they reach, and start to drop your head once again. A big one here for triceps, definitely for the underarms, and a wonderful one for our shoulders again. Drop your head as you continue to open up. Lots of breathing here. Very nice. Gently release that. One more time, just go ahead and sway your chest side to side. And then take your tailbone under, release the lower back, and lift all the way back up on your knees. All right, so this is the first one. Your spine definitely has felt it, but not in the way that we normally feel it. It was very arched, but hopefully because it was all gravity, it did not bother you in the lower back. Okay, so now we're going to rotate in that kneeling position away from the chair. And we're going to work on our hip flexors and our IT band. So I'm coming on all fours, and I'm going to place my right foot right on top of my chair. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring my left foot forward. And then I'm going to go ahead and lift up on my knee. Okay? So normally we start with a stretch in our quad, and then we reach back and start to pull our leg. This time I'm actually starting in the opposite direction. And what I'm going to try and do is concentrate a little bit more on just that hip flexor. Now, if you find that you need a little more padding for your knees, put a pillow, double, triple layer your mat, whatever works the best. Because right now you are really on the very top of that, of the very bottom actually of your quad muscle. So try not to hit your kneecap. Very gently, very gently, very gently. And the closer the chair, the more the angle, the deeper you're going to go into it. Okay? So play a little bit with it. I'm holding on to that chair because it's easy for me to reach back. If that's not your, if it's really hard for you to do something like that, you don't have to keep your hands on your left quad. And then very gently, we're going forward and forward and forward and forward. Take a nice long inhale and see if you can release your right arm and actually reach that right arm over and gently lean to that left side. It's a small movement. It's not really very big, but it should open up and should feel that hip flexor opening up all the way from here behind your core muscles. And again, in this position, gently shift your body forward. All gentle. Nice. 20 seconds, plenty good. These are really deep. Go ahead and place your hands on the floor. Go ahead and reposition so it's now your left knee that is bent and the left foot that is on the chair. and we're placing our right foot forward. We have figured everything out, the balancing, the holding on, the position for the angles, and then we start to lift up. And now, because we're doing them separately, one leg at a time, it's easy to compare the two. And once again, if you have that length, if you have that space, reach back and place your hands on your chair. If that's not an option, you have to do that. And start to very gently bring your body forward. Lots of breathing, lots of openness. See if you can reach your left arm up. And lean now to the right side. Easy does it. Plenty of support. Excellent. You could potentially do something like that also against the wall by standing and placing the top of the foot on against the wall and pressing your body. It's also pretty effective. However, there's a little more balancing happening there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and release that, and I'm going to go ahead and sit down in the chair. And we are going back to our exercises for the shoulders. Okay, reach back and grab the chair and gently shift your body forward and side to side. Good, and then from here, see if you can scroll your arms over the chair, and I'm going to rotate it and see if you cannot do both of them at the same time. I understand. Just try and open it up. Go with your own flow. It also depends on how tall the chair is, but if you think you can, go ahead and grab and straighten your arms behind you and open your chest and thrust it forward. I'm also clasping my hands. Definitely optional, but it's easy for me to be in charge of this position when I do. And it's an easy thing to do, especially if one is sitting at the desk for a long period of time, leaning forward. This really opens up your collarbones, which is not an easy area to get to. You're just grabbing your chair wherever you can, and you're leaning forward, and it is the weight of your body that is pulling your arms and lengthening of every single muscle. And that is that. Okay, so we can go back on the mat. And we'll continue playing a little bit both with our IT band and our hip flexor. So I'm gonna lie down nice and comfortable. I'm starting on my left side, so my right leg is on top. I'm grabbing my foot and I am bending my knee, so this is a wonderful stretch. Okay, so now I'm gonna drop it down behind my left leg. I'm gonna rotate and place my left ankle on top of that knee, my right. And I'm going to try and start pressing it down. So I'm going for several different things happening here. My IT band on the right side, my right knee, and my right hip flexor. If you can, if you think you've got that, aim at having your right knee on top of the mat. And then that left leg is trying to get it and hold it against the mat. Couple more breaths. This actually feels good also in the right side of my lower back and in my right hip. And as always, if anything is not quite right, please, please, please be watchful and change the position. Good. Now I'm going to try and do the same thing on the other side. And once again, I'm going to compare the two sides. So I'm going to lie down comfortably on my right side. Bend my left knee and grab my left foot. Push it back and then start to drop it toward the mat. And then I'm going to nudge it with my right leg. And as you can see, my left hip flexor is not as flexible. It is much harder for me to bring that knee to the mat without lifting my waist. But I insist. And I will open it up. But because it's so much tighter than on the other side, I'm just going to try and ease into it and hold it a little longer. In the meantime, I'm also trying to pull my left foot toward my glute just a tiny bit more to see if there's a difference. I can see that I'm opening up. My right rib cage, my right waist are finally giving in and they're dropping down. And now I start to feel on my left side very similar to the way I felt on my right side. A couple more breaths, and then we're going to go back to shoulders. Very awesome. All right, wherever you are, go ahead and release that. Ooh, beautiful. All right, so back to shoulders. So we're going to go into puppy. From there, we're going to go into high cobra. Back into kneeling position, arching our back, pushing our hips just a tiny bit behind our knees, and then walking our hands forward until we have our arms really straight, possibly even lifting up on our fingertips just to open up the space here for our chest to drop into. And once again, inching our chest into it gently by swaying it side to side, dropping and see if you can drop your chin as opposed to your forehead. But of course, go with what works best. Good, and then from here, we're going to gently lift up, bringing our body forward, rolling our shoulders back, and dropping into low cobra. So place your hands at the same level as your chest. Gently press your shoulders back. Press into your palms just to kind of give it a little bit of an anchoring. And the more you're pressing into your hands, the more you should feel that your shoulders are moving back. Very nice. And go ahead and lift all the way up. So now we are in this high cobra. And we're going to go for a little bit of a rotation here. So if anything does not feel quite right, make adjustments. And now go ahead and slowly start to rotate onto the right side. So your right hip starts to drop. Immediately should feel a good stretch in the right hip flexor. Continue rolling, continue rolling, continue rolling. Good. If it becomes a little uncomfortable on your left side, roll back to a little bit more neutral position. This really opens up that right hip flexor. These are hard to get to muscles, but we definitely need to do that, the bipedal creatures that we are. Very slowly, very gently, coming all the way through the center. If you need to release your lower back here, go ahead and do that, and then come down to the other side. Gently start to roll onto that left side. Easy does it. Keep pulling your shoulders back, and then continue rolling until you feel that your left hip is starting to open up and drop it. Good, very slowly release that. Come into the lower back stretch in your child's pose. Release that, open things up. This is also a very nice shoulder opener, but by now we have opened our shoulders much more than this, so this should feel very, very comfortable. Very lovely. Okay, coming back forward, rolling onto our tummy, and a very conventional, grab that left foot with your left hand and open up. Should definitely feel that something really good has already happened. It should be a little bit easier to do in this position as you're bringing your heel to the quad. To the glute. See if you can press your left hip down to the mat. Maybe gently lift the knee. If it's too much, just work on bringing the hip almost like you're trying to flatten it. Engage your glutes, especially your left glute here, to help you with this. Good, and let's try and do the same thing on the other side. So left hand supports your head, reaching back, nice and gentle, pull, and then start to press that hip flexor into the mat. Maybe lifting the knee, maybe just engaging the right glute and sort of rolling onto that right side. It's a small movement, but it's very easy to see how it influences the stretch. Wonderful. Okay, go ahead and release that. A little bit more on the knees. So lifting all the way up into our cobra, hopefully feeling a little bit more openness. Coming in and sitting down. See if we can do that. And then gently lifting one knee at a time, opening up the top part of our feet, definitely ankles. Should feel good. And then that was just for a minute. And then we're going to go back into shoulders. All right, so I'm going to turn around. And I'm going to lie down on my left side with my left arm extended in front. Okay, so my legs are straight. My palm is facing up. And I'm going to control that by really using my right hand. So I'm going to start to roll onto my arm so that in essence, this arm ends up crossing at the level of my shoulder from left to right. Okay, so I'm going to place my right hand slightly bent at the wrist under my chin. And I'm going to start to get a feel for a couple of things. A, how far I want to go pressing my right shoulder toward my left arm. And B, what the angle is going to be of my arm vis-a-vis my shoulder, okay? Where do we feel? And those angles are not very that dramatically changing. We're not talking about 45 degrees. Just minute change that may make a huge difference in the way you feel. So I'm hoping, and I'm gonna lift up to show you where I am feeling it and where I hope that you would be feeling it. It's right here. So it's almost mimicking this stretch that we do, but much more intense and hopefully a little bit more effective. So once again, playing here with it, and I hope it feels good. It really should feel good. It really should feel like you're getting deep into muscles that are hard to get into. These are also really good muscles to roll. Keep playing with how far you can go into the stretch by pressing your body, the right side of the body down. Please, please, please make sure that you're not in pain. One more breath here. Very nice. So once again, when you start coming out of this one, very slowly, do rely on that right arm. Good. Then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. If you need to lift up and shake your hands, that's great. Otherwise, lying down on the right side with the right arm extended, palm facing up, and we are starting to roll onto that side, supporting ourselves with our left hand this time, and once again, inching into it. In fact, millimetering into it, really easy. Finding the angles, finding how far we want to go into it, allowing the body, as always, to get used to it, to understand what it is that we're trying to do. And as it continues to open up, see if you can go a little bit deeper by pressing your left side into it. By now, you have figured out what the difference is between the two sides. Definitely. Couple more breaths. Some of these stretches are also easier to do sometimes against the wall. I don't have the wall here, but we could try it next time. I will reset it so that it will be something we could possibly do. All right, roll back so that you're not lifting yourself off of that arm. And then we're gonna come and stand up, in fact. And we're gonna do a couple of things here. I'm gonna stand so that a little bit farther, so we can see what is happening here. So feet are parallel to each other. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left. I'm going to press my right leg into my left knee. So that alone immediately creates a little bit of a stretch in my left IT band and a little bit in my left flexor. And then from here, I'm going to very gently and slowly start to fold forward. Good. I'm going to place my hands on the floor. And I know, Becky, you can definitely do that. But if there's somebody else who's watching this, and if you guys cannot do that, please use tools, blocks or pens or whatever it is that you can, where you can really rest your hands on. In this position, reach your arms behind you, clasp your hands, straighten your arms as much as you can, and very gently start to bring those clasped hands over your head. Couple more breaths. Good. Release your arms. Lovely. Place your hands on your right knee and help yourself to lift all the way up. Perfect. All right, let's try that on the other side. So the left leg goes over to the right. Your knees are crossed, your thighs are crossed. And press that left leg into your right, straightening your right knee as much as possible. And very slowly and gently. Dropping down. Hands relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Feet are fully on the floor, so do not roll them onto the outer edge. In fact, press into your big toes here. Long, long, long spine. And now, reach your arms above and behind. See if you can place a different thumb on the opposite thumb on top. And again, we're bringing those arms overhead. Couple more breaths. Wonderful. Release that. Place your hands on your left knee and very gently press and start to lift up. Beautiful. All right. Back to stretching the knees and checking to see how we're doing with our shoulders. So grab the strap. Make sure that we are doing good here. Sitting awesome on the knees. And this time, we're gonna go ahead and try and grab the strap a little more narrow and see if that is possible. Because presumably, we have already done so many stretches for our shoulders that it should be possible. Nice and gentle, gentle, gentle. We're starting to drop our arms behind us. Good, wonderful. And bring your arms as until they're parallel to the floor and rotate your palms away from each other first. Big arch in the back, and then rotate them all the way until your knuckles are facing the floor. I like to go on a little bit of a twist here, just a tiny, tiny, tiny one. And very, 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 very slowly, keeping the knuckles facing down, I'm dropping my arms all the way. Beautiful. All right. So No stretch is complete without the twist in the spine. And we are going to go ahead and do that. And at the same time, we'll stretch a little bit. We didn't really get that much into our hamstrings, but let's go ahead and add that. So grab the strap and place it. Right knee is bent, right foot is on the floor. Place it around your left midfoot and very gently come all the way in as far as you can. Easy does it. And then from this position, straighten your right leg. Now grab the strap into your right hand. And we're going to go for a nice, happy stretch. We're right about at 45 degrees. We're once again digging into our IT band in some piriformis. And then we'll continue on all the way down. Start to relax your waist. The left shoulder blade is fully on the floor. And after all the opening that we did today to the shoulders, it should be a little bit easier to do. With each exhale, keep relaxing your hips and your waist more and more. Good. Very gently, go ahead and release that by lifting that left shoulder so that there is no more tension in the lower back. Bend your left knee and then gently bring it back. So this is the easiest way to get out of the stretch because it is a very, especially if there's any pain, because it's pretty intense. So same thing here. So bending your left knee, rearranging your hips here, and pulling the right foot as far over the head as it would go, as your hamstrings would allow you. And once you have reached that destination, it takes about 10 seconds, 15 seconds to really figure it out. And then we're straightening our left leg. And from here, first thing first, left hand, right shoulder, and then we're coming halfway only, feeling a good stretch in piriformis, in the IT band, and then we're going to continue on, nice and gentle, maybe first dropping on our left elbow, and then coming in. Slowly is important. No jarring motion, really allowing the body to figure things out. This is our first and only real twist. So as before, start to relax through your waist, especially the left side now. Really allow it to sink. And then start to relax your right shoulder. And all of this relaxation should really be very mindful. And we're trying to do that when we exhale. Couple more breaths. Good. So now releasing that by lifting up the right side of the body. Softening the right knee and then coming back in. Release the strap. Hug both of the knees and rotate them using your hands. A couple of times in each direction. Reassessing, repositioning. Good. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and go back, working on that chair. And we're going to compare how our shoulders feel 45 minutes later. Elbows on the edge, hands are together. Bend your elbows and see if you can drop your head between your triceps and see if there is a difference between the beginning and the end of our session. I certainly do, and I so hope that you as well. Go ahead and straighten your arms and move just a tiny bit farther back. Now your elbows are no longer on the chair, just your forearms. And dropping a tiny bit more into this. Drop your head, relax your neck. Continue to slide back. Good, and then place your hands on the mat, one on top of the other. Drop your forehead on the mat in this ultimate child's pose. Really relax. Let go. One more breath. And then tuck your tailbone under and help yourself with your hands as you're lifting all the way back into that kneeling position. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down.